medicine. This is my. I'm with you. I get it. I love the theater. I love the actors. I'm not saying that. Look, you understand. I'm an egalitarian. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, you'd be born the way God wants you to be born, rich. Okay, so this whole Victor Hugo thing of teaching that prosperity makes monsters and adversity makes men would have no relevance anymore, since that was the paradigm at birth, that we all shared the same one. Okay, so it would be very unnatural for anybody to decide to be a decadent slob, a self-serving pissant, okay, that didn't want to contribute, because we have an instinct to want to be a part of this thing, to work like a family. That's what a family does. We help each other. We go out and we help make the wheels of society turn in the favor that we want it to make our work easier and easier. Technology is very natural. Mechanization, industrialization, state-of-the-art equipment, all this stuff is a very natural branch of our instinct to make our lives easier. Because we can do it, let's do it. If we can't get from one side of the bay to the other, and we want to without getting in a boat, let's build a bridge. Who gave us the wherewithal? Who gave us the brain, the imagination to do it? All the technology belongs to God. And yes, there's evil technologies out there, drones that'll bomb people. I mean, yeah, you can't sit behind your desk. I mean, give Rockefeller the controls, and Kissinger and your Brzezinskis, and here, your John McCain's, just control this drone. Bomb, 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 bomb Iran. Is that what you want to do, John McCain? Well, here's the drones and joysticks, so have to. It's evil. Can't do it. So they're, but the point here is that everything good comes from God. Nothing bad comes from God, and we've got to convey that to people. We've got to talk about the curse that befell the earth, how it states in Scripture that all creation, remember, even the animals, we screwed it up for everybody. Our ancestors did. And it's in our DNA, so it doesn't help it to play the blame game. It's there. Science can prove it. We're screwed up. Okay? We have defective genes that we get diseases. We're all walking around with cancer cells, and all this crap is in our body sitting dormant, just waiting to get us. Sooner or later, we know the flesh has to go. So the most astute believer out there that says, the most devout person says, look, I believe in eternal life. I don't believe in death, so I'm not worried about my body. Fine. But it's still an unpleasant thing. If you lose somebody you love, it's not cute, it's not funny. You have to go into a house of mourning. It's a bad thing. Death is bad, and it was never God's intent that we die. And then people immediately, they'll question that. So you need to have a retort as a believer. Say, well, the earth would not get overpopulated if we never died, and here's why. God owns all the real estate in the universe, okay? So if he wants to ship us off to a fresh planet that's 10, 20 times, 100 times bigger than Earth, okay, it's only got a few inhabitants on it, and that's where you want to be, then fine, you go there, wherever, whatever suits your fancy in terms of habitation, of population, okay? But in the meantime, let's just be honest and say, could the Earth really sustain 10 times, 20 times, 100 times more people than it does right now? And I would contend the answer is yes. And we wouldn't build cities the way we do. We wouldn't have the parking issues we have. I mean, I woke up Saturday morning 2 weeks ago from tomorrow in San Francisco after attending my daughter's wedding there. And I woke up to not only a flat tire. Actually, it wasn't the first thing I saw. I saw a ticket on my windshield and a flat tire, okay? But this parking ticket, $73 street sweeping ticket. My daughter failed to mention it, but, I'm not blaming her. She had a lot on her mind with the wedding and everything. But I had a flat tire, and I had curbed my wheel, so it was the wheel that was pushed up against the curb. It was all the way flat. What the hell? I mean, this is really, when it rains, it pours sort of thing, right? But, it's just an example, these parking tickets. But everything worked out. I got a little air compressor I keep in my trunk. I keep a battery pack. And I didn't think it was going to take air. I thought it was too low to even take the air with this dinky little compressor I had. But it eventually did. So I was able to drive it home. And I didn't have to add air the whole time. So got it back and got the tire repaired. It had a little piece of hard plastic. Apparently it punctured it. I don't know how the hell that happened. But that's how it happens with flat tires. Usually you don't remember when you got it. But I think I do remember running over something. But you always run over stuff. Most of the time it doesn't put a hole in your tire. But, parking. If you were going to design a city, you'd say, no, 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 no. You're not going to build these apartment complexes without providing parking, okay? That's it. Everybody gets free parking. Free, of course, free. I mean, if we were going to have a viable society, a viable city, it's got to be a livable city. And if it's not livable, it's not viable, okay? And if it's crowded and if there's no place to park, then it's not cool. Okay, so I'm saying, and the traffic, like I said, I mean, if we weren't punching clocks, you wouldn't have traffic. All the problems would dry up. If we had God's will on earth, everything, we could have everything, all the technology that we have, and we could have 100% livability all around the world. We could have extra houses everywhere. Could you imagine? Could you imagine that? I mean, if I was free, I can tell you right now, I would definitely be more productive. Definitely. I mean, it holds me back. It's like, gee, I want to go out there, but I can't work for free because this guy depends on money. He said, what the hell are you doing volunteering? What the hell are you doing this job for free? Wouldn't he ask? It's like, what, are you stabbing me in the back here? I mean, I got a family to feed. If they find out you're out there offering your service for free, what, you understand? You see the madness. That's what I try to do in these videos. I try to help people see the madness of our ways and how our thinking is askew. And that shows your thinking is askew. My thinking is askew. How can I think straight? I'm just picking out little tidbit examples here of the madness. But it's rampant. It's rife in the land. We can't think straight. So is a volunteer good? Should they be hailed and exalted as they do on all the TV commercials? Oh, you're so wonderful. Pink Ribbon Day and this day, and breast cancer awareness and cancer awareness and cerebral palsy awareness and this and that and the next thing. Whoa, wait a minute. Somebody's job, you can't volunteer. If you do it for free, you're cutting somebody's throat, man. You're taking bread out of their children's mouths. You understand the madness. That's what I'm trying to get across here. Do you see how vast majority of jobs revolve around the problems? Okay? Putting people in debt. 25% of Americans purportedly, last time I looked, approximately, were somehow involved in the financial services industry, the dubious warfare industry. How many people are in the military? Do you understand? And if it's an industry, like Eisenhower pointed out, and if you didn't have jobs, you weren't relevant, you wouldn't have a job. You'd be laid off. Okay, it's the same thing for the crime industrial complex. How many people are employed in that? The jailers, the clerks, the judges, the lawyers, on and on and on and on. Okay? The welfare industrial complex. How many social welfare workers are employed out there that depend on extreme poverty for their job? Do you understand the madness and how it's ruling over the affairs of men and our thinking? We want to make sense of this. It does make sense, right? No, it doesn't. I'm here to tell you it does not make an iota of sense. And all these people I see here bandied about all the time, work hard, and you'll succeed and all this. And I say, let's define work hard, okay? Because let's look at John Steinbeck's Grapes of Wrath, okay? I mean, the farm worker's out there busting his ass, okay? And where is he going? He could bust his ass 12 hours a day instead of 8 hours a day, right? And he could do it 6 days a week if he wants, right? Instead of 5. And you telling me that he's going to be numbered among the elite and the successful as we define it by the world, the prosperous? Is he? Is he? Let's be honest. Be honest. So define what you mean by working hard. Okay? Because I think it means work smart. You get a good idea and you figure out how to implement the idea. You write a business plan. You go forth and then you realize it. You got to get people to work with you, though. You need money. Money is the greatest single obstacle. Convincing an investor. I'm not a salesman. I hate it. I've tried selling cars. I've tried selling houses. Okay, just so I could get the money so I could be a low-income housing developer, okay? And I'm a miserable failure. I can't sell nothing, so I don't try. But I'm an innovator. I'm a designer. I'm no Einstein. I'm no, but no Tesla, okay? But I've got some pretty good ideas, okay? And they're without money. And how do you get the money? You got to sell your idea to somebody else. I know the virtue. I know the value of my ideas. I know you take the landscape industry. I've been doing this for over 30 years. I know what tool a guy wants when he goes into the hardware store. It's not there. Okay, but if my tool was there and he got to pick it up and handle it, okay, Then he said, this is what I'm buying. This is what I want. Okay, I know it. I know 100% certainty. Okay, I don't need any kind of testing period. I don't need research and development. I know from experience. And I'm not trying to take away from the engineers who are brilliant. They know a hell of a lot of stuff about physics and math that I don't. But I'm just saying from a design aspect, I know because I'm in the field. I know what people want. So, work smart, not hard. I don't know how hard it is. It's just you maybe pray. How do I turn myself into a salesman when I can't sell squat? I couldn't sell warm soup to Eskimos probably, or popsicles to somebody sweltering in the Mojave Desert. But look, I don't care. I know at any time I'll be 60 next year. I could pull a rabbit out of the hat. I'm a smart guy. I'm not worried about making a lot of money. I'm very satisfied. I'm very lucky. In my mind, I'm very prosperous. I mean, I don't have any financial security. I don't have any financial freedom. I'm not absolutely free in that regard, but it's all relative. I'm not the guy that's going to die out on the street tonight. I've got a lot. I've got it really good. Okay, a lot of guys, would think they died and went to heaven to have what I have. Okay, so everything's relative. So I don't really care that much about a lot of money. But yeah, I think of what I could do with it. I'd love to lay a bunch on my kids, but Victor Hugo, right? So that's it. You see, it's a double-edged sword. It's a dichotomy. It's a paradox. While what Victor Hugo taught was true, in light of this paradigm, this world, this unreality that's been shoved down our throats from birth, what he said had a lot of validity. And I prescribe to Victor Hugo's teachings that prosperity can often, not always, but makes monsters, like the kid that ran down that woman Heather at that rally that was to save the statues, and then the white supremacists attended and all this bull crap. Okay, they weren't welcome there. They're not welcome in America. They're un-American. They're thugs. I mean, if you're a racist, man, or a supremacist, that's the same thing. It's like reverse discrimination. That's this what they call when they prefer one or the other. In Europe they call it reverse discrimination, but here we call it something less revealing. But anyhow, prosperity makes monsters, and it made a monster out of that guy because purportedly he was born very rich. So he had this nice new Dodge Challenger car, and he just decided he lost his cool and thought he'd just plow it into these people that he was hating on because they were different. They had a different voice than him. A lot of them are paid. So when Trump says, both sides of this thing, or his term, all sides, yeah, he's right. There was different sides. People are attending that are good on. He's right. There is more than two sides. In the media, all sides. How dare him say there was another side that was mean? When we know there's instigators, paid provocateurs. George Soros is involved. You can wreak a hell of a lot of havoc, okay? Because people are hungry and needy. And George Soros becomes their hero, their guy. Yeah, I'll gladly take money from this humanitarian in their minds that he's the good American. He's an egalitarian. He's a good communist and socialist. He's the People's Party. Perception is reality. So we've got to understand how serious this thing is, man. Deceit is powerful, man. So if you believe somebody's deceived, you can't look at it and make fun and taunt and tease the people. You got to understand, look, you got to reach them as best as you can. Maybe if you really in your heart of hearts believe that teasing them, taunting them is going to help and is the most effective approach. I don't. Okay. Oh, God, help us. But look, reach people any way you can. Just understand it's serious because people kill and die for their belief systems. So you get people that are paid provocateurs mixed up with people that really believe what they believe, okay, that are firmly deceived on all sides. If you're a white supremacist, you're deceived. You're an idiot. You're immature. You're un-American. You should get the hell out of here. That's how I feel about all this. And David Duke, please support Hillary. If you're really a Trump supporter, the best thing you could do is not support him, okay? And actually, there was a piece somebody posted on InfoWars where David Duke actually was denouncing Trump. He said, I don't support him. So I don't know what the truth is, okay? And I can be deceived in some ways. I mean, remember, being deceived is not immoral, unethical. It doesn't show that you're stupid, okay? It just means you believe a lie. So I don't know who to believe. When you hear one thing from one person you trust, another from another you trust, and you don't know what the motive would be, why they would lie. I mean, it's just crazy, man. But that's the world we live in, and we've got to just take the bull by the horns. We've got to confront this thing and understand the gravity of the situation, what it means to God, the implications, what we're up against here, what it's going to take, what it means to carry our cross, about being insulted and hated unduly, and just seeing that as a blessing somehow, that we turn to God and say, we've got to see that as good, okay, because now we have a chance. We've broken the ice, and now we can reach somebody. We can hold an olive branch out and say, look, I'm not going to tell you I told you so. I'm not going to belittle you. I'm not going to marginalize you. Here's how it would be if I had my way. It'd be God's way.